Hey everybody, Jeff Joyner here. And today I'm going to tell you the story of the greatest sales call of all time, as far as I'm concerned. And before I tell you this story, make sure if you enjoy these stories and these videos that you subscribe to this channel, hit the notification bell, share it with your friends, and I would greatly appreciate that. Let's spread the good word about these videos that I'm making. And so this story comes from, over 20 years ago. If you watched my channel or heard me speak, you may know that I spent 10 years working in corporate business to business sales. Worked for a Fortune 500 company, the Campbell Soup Company. Great company, had a great career there working in sales and management, and had some ups and downs and lots of lessons. Today I do, who'd have thought that the lessons I was learning the hard way back then now are the cornerstone of the training I do when I do selling skills training. If you've read my book, Say It Like It Matters When It Matters, you know that there's a third of that is about selling, and a lot of the lessons I learned when I was out there trying to sell soup. And so my job at Campbell's was to sell Campbell's products. And you may or may not know that they have a lot more than soup, right? That Campbell's owns Pepperidge Farm and Pay Salsa and Prego and V8 and all of these different great world-class high-quality products. And our job, me and the people who had my same job around the country, our job was to go sell these products to restaurant chains, hospitals, nursing homes, assisted living facilities, school districts, cafeterias, business and industry, factories, military bases, anywhere that they sold, bought bulk food and then served it to others. It was the food service, or what they called away from home division of the company. And so, I got started, and, if you've heard my story, I struggled for about 4 years working there, and really sold just enough to not get fired. Learned a lot of lessons, revolutionized my career one year when I decided to just start reading some books on selling and invest some time and energy into becoming a professional at what I did for a profession, and really, really changed some things. So it was shortly after that an opportunity came my way to a potential customer, which was a military base. Didn't have any experience selling to the military. But Wright-Patterson Air Force Base is right here in Southern Ohio, and our market, huge military base, serve a lot of meals to the airmen and to also the civilians, a lot of civilians that work there. And so I had heard, there was a new person who was going to be running all of the food service operations on the base, a guy named Eric. And one of my coworkers who was out like in Kansas City told me that she used to sell to him, out there. And so he was familiar with our products. He used to work at like a university out there, and then had made the move to be at this military base. So I'm going to pursue this opportunity. Found out there's a lot of hoops you got to jump through even to get onto a military base. And so a lot of sales reps don't even bother, but jump through all the hoops, got the paperwork, you have to send in a fax, and then you show up there and the person meets you at the gate, this whole rigmarole. But sat down with this guy, Eric, and was talking to him about the potential of placing our products on their beautiful military base. And, one of the things, if you've heard me do selling skills training, is the key to sales isn't talking. The key to sales is asking good questions and listening. So as I was asking this guy about, what he was trying to accomplish there and what kind of things that he looks for in terms of vendors and products, I asked him a question that turned out to be very fortuitous. And I've asked this to a lot of my clients over the years. I said, hey, let's look into the future. I go, what's something personally that you'd like to accomplish, right? If you were to, knock it out of the park, and if you could have anything happen here, and he's brand new working there, what would it be? And he goes, honestly, personally for me, he goes, they took a big chance here at the base hiring me. I've never worked in a military base before. I've always worked in colleges and universities and restaurants. And I'd like to have some kind of big success that really impresses the brass, so to speak, the higher ups at this Air Force base. And I said, okay, you know what? Let me put my thinking cap on. Let me see if I can I don't have any ideas off the top of my head, but I'm going to keep my eyes out for an opportunity for you to blow the people away who work here. So fast forward, I don't know, maybe a month, maybe a couple months. Go in to have lunch one day with my boss, Dale. And he goes, "Well, I got some bad news for you." I said, "What?" He said, "The president of the Campbell Soup Company has decided that he wants to leave world headquarters and come out and work with a local sales rep somewhere in America and go make a sales call," which has never happened to my knowledge. The president of any of these companies going out and making sales calls. And I go, "Okay." And they said, "Well," they asked Dale. Dale ran the biggest region. "Dale, can one of your people do it?" Dale goes, "Jeff, you're the man." I had won the Merit Award for Excellence 2 years in a row, was considered by many to be one of the top salespeople in the company. And he goes, "Jeff, you got to bring," I go, "How am I going to bring the president?" I said, "Okay, let me think about it." And then right after that, found out, oh, it's not just the president, right? The national sales manager is going to come with him too. He's one step below, and the VP of sales. And we got a bunch of people that are going to be coming. I'm like, "Well, which one of my customers can I bring a bunch of executives to?" Idea. Wright-Patterson Air Force Base. So make an appointment, go back up to Dayton. I'm going to see Eric. And I said, "Eric, remember when I asked you what your goals were and you said you'd really like to make an impression on the higher ups here?" I said, "What would the senior leadership at the Air Force Base think if you were able to get the president of a Fortune 500 company to come visit you and your team here at the base?" And he goes, "Oh, I could spin that." I go, "We could do it in such a way that would really, really make you look good to those people." And he goes, "Oh, okay." He goes, "Well, if you're going to make me look good, I'm going to make you look good. And what if when all these people came, I bought a ton of your products?" And I go, "I like where your head's at." And so this guy starts scheming on how we can set up the greatest sales call that ever happened. And it's going to involve a little smoke and mirrors, but this is going to be impressive. So I let the powers that be at my company know, "Hey, I got an appointment set up for us. It's at one of the biggest military bases in America, Wright-Patterson Air Force Base." And oh, wow, that sounds awesome. So now, okay, now the guy who does all of the non-commercial military sales, he wants to come. And the director of corporate accounts wants to come. All of a sudden, it's like 10 people coming from world headquarters. And they decide, well, since we're bringing that many people, instead of all flying commercial, let's bring the Campbell Soup jet. There is indeed a Campbell Soup private jet. We're going to fly that to Dayton and go on a sales call with Jeff Joyner. So I go back and I tell Eric, like, all the executives from Campbell Soup Company are coming. And he tells the civilian supervisors, the military supervisors, all these, he goes, "Jeff, there's like 20 people that are coming from my side." And I go, "Well, there's like 20 people coming from my side. This is going to be the biggest, weirdest sales call of all time." I said, "Yeah, they're flying in the corporate jet." And he goes, "You know what? I bet I can get it approved for them to land on the base. Let me look into that." So he does, and he gets back to me and he goes, "Hey, not only do I have clearance from the United States Air Force to land the Campbell Soup jet on the tarmac here on base, but I've arranged for the Air Force band to line up. We're going to have a red carpet and they're going to play good, good." The executives disembark. I go, "Are you kidding me?" And so that part ended up not happening. This was in 2004, I think March of 2004. And like a couple days before our big event was the terrorist attack in Spain. There was some train bombers that did a bombing on the train in Spain. And so all of a sudden, terrorist warnings went up, no more landing commercial aircraft on the military base. And so, but they did fly in and just landed at another local, airport. And we had a bunch of rental SUVs and we caravan up and we all show up in this like uh, big conference room at Wright-Patterson Air Force Base, and it's like 20 of my people and 20 of his people. And he's got a banner up, welcome Campbell Soup Company. And we got PowerPoint set up and a big screen, a podium and a microphone. And Eric gets up there and is kicking things off and tells all of these people. He said, I've been working in the food industry for a long time, had a lot of sales reps who've called on me and worked with me. Never in my career have I had a sales rep who took such an interest in what I was trying to accomplish than Jeff Joyner from the Campbell Soup Company. He's the best sales rep I've ever seen. And all of my boss and his boss and his boss and his boss and his boss were all in the room. And they're all looking at each other. And my boss, Dale, who knows that, I'm borderline con artist here, is like, oh my God. And so Eric's like, so I'd like to give a warm Wright-Patterson Air Force Base welcome to Jeff Joyner from the Campbells. Yeah, everybody claps. I come walking up. And I said, hey, Eric, I appreciate those fine words. But I said, I got to tell you from my perspective, I've been working in food service sales now for close to a decade, called on thousands of customers. And I got to tell you, in the entire country, who's got the best reputation as one of the top food service operations executives is Eric. And, Campbell's has worked with him. One of my coworkers worked with him when he was in Kansas. And when I heard that Eric was coming to Ohio, to my market, what an honor to get a chance to work with Eric. So excited to partner with Wright-Patterson Air Force Base, and his boss and his boss's boss and his boss's boss were like, oh, wow, didn't know Eric was so famous. And so I then proceeded to show on the PowerPoint. Here's what we're going to show you guys today. We have this restaurant quality frozen soup. We have frozen entrees like lasagna and mac and cheese. We have Pepperidge Farm dinner rolls. We have V8 splash drinks. We have, and I had stations set up all around for people to go around and do samplings of the products and fill out a little little tasting form on what did they like. And, that's the part that was smoke and mirrors. Eric had already agreed to buy all this stuff. And so people are going around, and like high level military leaders, with all their ribbons on are like tasting my soup. And they're like, it's delicious. It's quite tasty. And a lot of them grew up eating, in the military, horrible rations. And so, of course, this stuff tastes good to them. And gets all done, and Eric gets up there and goes, I don't think we need any further discussion. We're going to buy 10 truckloads of soup and 4 truckloads of frozen entrees and 6 truckloads of Pepperidge Farm. It was like the biggest sale ever. And oh my gosh. And at the end of the day, my boss's boss and his boss and his boss and his boss, they're like lined up like a wedding reception. Well done. Well done. Oh my gosh. I had won the Merit Award for Excellence 2 years in a row. And that was 2004. There's my awards up there. I won it the 3rd year in a row. Largely on the back to my enormous success working with military food service operations. And the whole time my boss was like, oh, for God's sakes. Because he knew that I hardly ever did any work. And so the best sales call of all time, it was awesome when everybody had left and the planes had taken off and the rental cars had been returned. Eric and I went over, and there's a little bar there on base as part of his operations that he managed. I don't know, it was the Officers Club or something. And we sat there and had a drink, and he had a cigar. And I knew, that's what it was. I knew he loves cigars. And so I had bought him a cigar. And I don't smoke and I don't drink, but I said, hey, I got something for you. And we sat there laughing. And his career took off. My career took off. And, it's just an example, I think, of, take every opportunity that can to put your best foot forward. And it as silly as it was, and it was a little bit of smoke and mirrors, the lesson in the story is it all goes back to me asking a good question. I didn't just show up, hey, we have this, but wait, there's more. We have this, we have that. Asking questions is the key to selling. People love when you ask them questions. They open up, they'll tell you the path to selling them. And asking one good question a few months ahead of all of this led to the greatest sales call of all time. So hope you enjoyed that. Got some more videos coming your way soon. Feel free to make a comment. Let me know what you think, and we'll catch you next time.